Hello everyone, MT12 here. So today we are doing the figure session 3 and we are picking up from where we left off. And I want to mention couple of things. I know that this is the session 3 and I may not post other sessions or post them in a different way. This is the last session. I have given some, information and tips. And the reason for that is I am still new to this recording stuff. So I am most of the time I am making mistakes and I am learning from my mistakes. For example, in the last session, in the session 2, I have realized that when I was making some explanation about the figure, and let's say I'm drawing the figure, right? Then, I am explaining because you might wonder why I am at this figure session 3. However, I am not posting the other sessions, but just posting them as parts of the whole session, so not as a whole. And you may be curious, so this is why. I was doing some explanations and I was moving my mouse cursor to the image, and I have realized that because this is very important for you to see where I'm referencing, because of the recording, I couldn't record the part where my mouse was hovering over the image. So basically, I decided that I want my videos to have more quality, and I could have posted that way, but I wanted my videos to have more quality, so I've decided that I should go with the videos that I am satisfied. It is hard to be satisfied at the start because I am still beginner to this and to recording thing, and there are a lot of things I need to learn. For example, I had some other sessions on some other projects like prop designing, character designing, and that kind of stuff. And in the beginnings, I was really excited. Because not because like maybe it is just characteristic or other things, but it takes time to get used to some stuff. So I hope it will be getting better with time. And the reason I want to share with you these videos, because I was before I was learning too, and there were not a lot of information when I was learning. However, right now we all know that in the internet there are a lot of sources, and in our current time, the problem is not the information, but the structure of information. To get to the right information is very hard at this time. Information is a lot. However, it is not structured, so it doesn't help much. Like I remember myself learning, I still had some good resources. However, the really confusing part is that there are a lot of people who has a lot of different approaches and a lot of different ideas. So it is, for a beginner, it is really hard to comprehend or connect all these pieces together, because the art itself is really, like, at some point it's really complicated, and it is not like math. In math, like you let's say you multiply 2 with 2, right? You get the 4. And this is obvious, everyone knows it. But art is not linear like that. It has very conceptual parts. So for some people, it is really hard to connect these pieces together. For me, as an artist, I am one of, like you will hear from the internet that there are two kind of people that are learning art. Some of them are intuitive and some of them are let's methodological. Is it the correct way to say it? I'm not sure. Like the one part is using the right hemisphere of the brain and other part left hemisphere of the brain. So I am more on the intuitive side. I do not need exact methods. I generally go with the intuition. And this might be really confusing for some people. However, for the most part, I will try to be analytical as much as possible and explain my process. And hopefully you will learn something. And although I have said that I am an intuitive person, I'm a very intuitive person when it comes to art, I still consider myself pretty objective and analytical regarding subjects that requires problem-solving skills. So hopefully my videos will teach you something about the subject we are working on. And like I said before, I have recorded 2 other sessions before this. This is actually like the 3rd, but I may post it as the first figure session. And this is why I am making some explanations. I mean, obviously I haven't. It is not something huge, but yeah, I thought it will be helpful to to get started and maybe know a little bit each other. So let me start by adjusting the figure here. So let's talk a little bit about our approach before we start again, okay? So what are we trying to do here? And it is important for me as well as it is important for you. There are a couple of different approaches you can try figure drawing, but mainly we can divide it in 2 categories. Let's say first, let me just make it smaller. First, time-based study, and second, let's call it free study, but I will explain it in a second. So what is the time-based study? Time-based study is where you study, like where you do sketches of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and these may change, okay? 30 minutes. And the free study is like you don't care about time, okay? You don't care about time. So let me give you first a quick overview of what are these and like how are these important. So like I said before, there are a lot of information on the internet that you might find these kind of details, like they will tell you to do this and do that. However, from my perspective, the figure drawing has a couple of base structures that are very important, and one of them is the time-based study. How is this important? This is really important because each of these studies each of these studies help you learn something different. For example, 3 minutes. And like I said, it doesn't have to be 3 minutes. It can be 2 minutes. It can be 1 minute. This 5 minutes can be 6 minutes. These will change and you will adjust these according to your specific desires. However, the main idea is still the same. These 3 minutes and 5 minutes, like short ones, are more focused on the flow of your design. For example, let me show you. Let's say I have 3 minutes to draw. I will draw it much faster to make my point. However, let's say I have 3 minutes, okay? What do? I give this flow right away. Then there is this body. And let's see the leg position. Okay, we have the other hand. And not too much detail. Maybe this is as much as I can give. Okay. And you see, like what? Okay, now let's say I have spent all my 3 minutes. I know it hasn't been 3 minutes, but let's assume that I have spent all my 3 minutes. So what happened here? This 3-minute study forced me to be really quick about it. And it forced me to move my lines as a free form. For example, let's say it was a 30-minute study, okay? I could have done something like this. Right? I could have just try to decide where the head is, like the shape of the head. And I could have done like really detailed head here. And I could have decided like the eyes. I could have even add these details to delete them, erase them later. I could have got in much more detail, and and this is actually really important point. You see what I'm doing? I am doing lines like this, okay? And what are these lines? These are completely wrong. These are something that you do not want to draw when in figure drawing. Actually, figure drawing teaches you how to draw like this, like free form like this. Okay, like this. Your lines are dynamic and they are flowing. And this is one of the things that this is maybe if there are two major factors, two major things that figure drawing teaches you, it is one of these. One of it is this one, free lines. Let's get back to R, or maybe let's. Sorry. Teaches lines. So, as you can see, I will these short drawings teaches you how to draw better lines and dynamic drawing. Okay, why dynamic drawing is important? Let me show you. Of course, there are a lot of things that are in art that is your choice. Like you don't have to do anything that you can do however you want. However, dynamic drawing is one of the things that humans like to see. So if this is one of the things that you would like to learn, it is very important to actually fix your drawing quality. I saw this as a good, yeah. For example, this is a good example. Okay, look at this hand. You find it visually pleasing, right? And actually, the reason is it is dynamic, and the line art is appealing. And like we say, if we were to draw, I am assuming that you are beginners, since you are, I mean, you may not be beginners, you may be just looking to draw, to learn how to draw figures. However, even if you are beginners, I think, like, since you want to learn figure drawing, I assume that this is one of the things you should learn, because this is very fundamental to figure drawing. Although you will also learn how to draw human body, to draw it really well and appealing, this is actually one of the core reasons that you are learning figure drawing. So I assume this information is still needed. Okay, so let's keep have some more explanation on the example. Let's say we are drawing this hand, right? We are drawing this hand. Where did it go? I'm sorry. By the way, this is business related. Okay. So wait. Now, if I were to draw this hand like this, okay, this is something. We can still understand that this, what kind of intention does this drawing has, right? We can understand the implications, and we can assume that this is a hat, right? However, it will be much more visually pleasing if we were to draw it with dynamic lines. Like this. And we can also do it in a different part. Yeah, I won't spend too much time on it, but just to give you the point. Okay. If you look at the drawing, let's look at the drawing. Okay. You will see that the author, like the artist that has drawn this, that has made this drawing, you will see that he also applied the same technique. This whole line is one brush stroke, you see, and this is same as well. This is one brush stroke, not many. I mean, this, for example, this is here like one, and then this is like, this one is a single brush, this one is not. For example, this one is very interesting. This is whole of this line is one brush stroke, right? So I hope this help you understand it, why it is so important. And also, let's give like dynamic drawing figure, and yes, and like it's like in the internet there are a lot of information and a lot of stuff from other artists. However, I suggest you learn from the best ones, because why not? Because like if the artist is like really good, it has a lot more to teach you. And there are a lot of beginner artists with social influence, and I should suggest that you should stay away from them, because not all the information that they give you is accurate. So they will make mistakes, and but they can have like a lot of followers. For example, 100,000 followers. They can have a lot of followers, but that doesn't mean that they know how to draw. Okay, so if you are looking for a example, look from the professionals. For the example we have here is, you can see that this is a high level artist. This is like a real professional. But I won't specifically show you like because I don't want to like hurt anybody, but you understand what I mean. For example, we can give was it him? Hello. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite figure artists. You can just look at him, look at his drawings. Let's see. And I assume that if you want to learn how to draw how to make figure drawings really well, I assume this is like one of like, you may not be into this kind of style, and you may think like, okay, I want to do something else. However, if this is the level that you are looking for, that is very important. So let's have some analysis in this from this artist as well. As you can see, the main principle doesn't change. Let's look at how this artist handled this head. He has he has drawn something like this, okay? And what is this? This is dynamic drawing. He doesn't draw like this. If he had drawn like this, it would have been looking horrible. And this is my opinion. However, I think if you want to achieve something like this, then you should be mindful of this. Okay, then look at this part, and you will see me doing dynamic drawing with my drawing as well. I may not have the same style because it is like a signature. Everyone eventually, when they get better, their art will look differentiated. Okay, their lines will look differentiated. He gives this like single line, then he has this implication, and then he with single stroke he defines this part, and then he moves on to the body, right? Then he has this, you see, I am like doing outer line from a couple millimeters away. You see? So, in conclusion, this is what we are trying to achieve. Like, we are trying to achieve a dynamic figure that is alluring and charming to the viewer. And everyone has like I said, everyone has a different approach to this. However, I think the same the principles and the fundamentals are same. So, I mean, I was just thinking like, just keep that in mind. My figure drawing sessions are not planned to be like a lesson. I just want to draw some figures and give some tips along the way. My figure drawing sessions will be like that. However, I wanted to mention for the first video, I wanted to mention some important facts, okay? So important information that could be needed for anyone interested in these videos. Let me. I will get into the drawing right away. So another thing just to mention, it is not something very important, but I like to draw with some colored pencil, like colored brushes, time to time. It adds some liveliness, just for the entertainment sake. Yes, let's go. Just for the first video, let me give some more, details. How do I start? I have already given these tips and examples in the first or second video. However, like I said, since I have decided that I may not post because of my own mistakes, like I wasn't aware that recording was not as intended. So I will try to do my best to explain all these things again for the last time, and then move along with the figure drawing and explain as I see important, like explain the parts that I see important. Okay. So how do we start? Let's say, I always start by defining the page's top part, not like this. Yeah, it might be annoying, however, we got it. I wish there was a option to lock it, whatever. Then there is the bottom part. Okay, I have decided this is the top, this is the bottom, not because I want to fit my drawing here. Since we are in digital, this is not a problem. However, I just decide the lower and the top because even though I don't draw it, I just think of a line. Okay, I think of this. I'm sorry. I think of this gap. Okay. In my mind, I don't draw it, but I have this gap in my mind because, like you see, when I try to get close too much to the top, it starts like acting weird because of the Photoshop. Also, like it is never a good idea to, you should be working relaxed. You shouldn't mind, because if you feel like you are stuck. For example, I'm trying to draw a leg here, right? So I have started leg here. Then I have this piece here. However, it has to go down. And the moment you psychologically start feeling pressure to do something, then your lines will start getting broken. Okay, you won't draw as well as you have been drawing here. So you don't have to do it. So just don't push yourself. Just work in the free area. And I think this is important. So I start by defining the top and the bottom. And let me get into the body. How do I start body? First, I generally like to start marking the head. Like to do some marking, like this is the top of the head. This is the top of the head. Okay. So then after I did the marking, and we still do not know how big the picture is going to be. Is it going to be like this? Or is it going to be like this? We don't know, right? So this is important. How you start is really important. Actually, the most important part of the figure drawing is the first 30%. The rest are kind of easy because in the first 30%, or even for almost 40%, you decide the proportions of the figure. After you have located the proportions of the figure, then it is more like a carving. It's more like carving a statue. You can just carve in the details. However, if the proportions are not right, then there is no point in carving because it will look bad anyway. Okay? Then let's start with the head, like I said. I do these cylinder-like shapes. It doesn't matter, the face it is not going to be this long, okay? It is just an indication to start from somewhere, because it might be, especially if you are starting, it is intimidating, and I know that. However, with time, you just get used to it. You just put some stuff on the paper and you go along with that. And it doesn't matter if you are putting like whole body, like general lines, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just put something, and you can delete it. Because this is digital, it is easy. Yeah, we have to. I always say that. Always utilize your tool to the fullest. Don't people may say, a lot of people may have a lot of different opinions. However, my opinion is that if you have a tool, you should utilize it to the fullest. Okay, I will start. I am starting with the head, and I thought maybe this scale is acceptable for the head. Then I'm moving forward. Okay. I am afraid to put. Yeah, I am really afraid to get into the details. I won't draw the nose. I won't draw the eyes. I won't draw the mouth. I won't get into the detail. Getting into detail in the early stage is the biggest mistake you can do in figure drawing. Just don't get into the details. Just get the pose. You just need to get the pose down. For what kind of I have, since I have decided, I have put the head, like the most important piece of the figure drawing, onto the canvas. Now I can focus on the general pose of the body. And you may also, actually, this is just one part. Like, let me give you an example. The head is very important, right? However, I could have like just go with like this as well, just with the flow of the body to understand. And this is fine as well, because this part here is giving me the length of the head. This part here, this is the neck, and this is the head. This can also give me the position of the figure, like the flowing lines of the figure. This can also be helpful. And just doing this head or the body, it doesn't matter where you start. However, it is important when the head is big part of the flow. For example, let me find you an example. Okay, let's find when the head is really big part of the dynamism. Yeah, maybe on this one. On this one, I wouldn't have start with the head particularly. I mean, I could have. However, let's say, as you can see, let's start here. Okay, I have put the head. I don't need to put details. Then we have something like this. And what do we see with the body? What is the flow here? The main flow axis here, like this, right? From this, we can easily carve out the belly. As you can see, as long as we define the main axis, this is like the main axis, then it is much easier to define the rest of the details. However, like this, I have started with the head, this one to this one, right? However, I could have just start like this, then add the head later in the second phase, and add, like this second this is, axis line may change from, it will definitely change from figure to figure. So there is no math that can tell you that this is the main axis, but not this one. Okay, this is not the main axis, but not this. Like, there is no math to it. There is no formula. I wish I could give you the formula. However, there is no formula. So what is the solution? The solution is that what looks like the most expressive line of action. From when I look at this, I feel like this is the most important line of action. And like I said, I am an intuitive person. I may not be explaining in full extent. However, I do not believe that anyone can explain you like this is like the reason, like the exact reason why this should be like this. No one can. So it is important to improve your eyes, and with time you will start seeing the most important action line. As you do more, it will become more visible. And if you are struggling at the start, don't worry, it will just come. However, just remember the most important part is that it has to be full extent to the body. Like, it has to be the line of action that covers almost all body. Most of the time it will cover the whole body. If it doesn't cover the whole body, it must cover the most of it. Okay, let's find another example. This one can do as well. Let's see, what is the line of action? Maybe you can stop the video and you can think about it. However, it is actually very obvious. And like I said, it is fine if you cannot find it, but with time you will start to see. Stop the video, maybe try. Okay, I assume that you have tried. Let me show you. This line of action, as you can see, covers the whole body. So only thing left is this sticking part of the head. I will have done like this, like this, then that's it. Actually, it's funny, but it is enough. Then I can just stick out the head like in the figure. Just like this. And let's think about some alternatives. Like I said, this is not mathematics. There is no formula. So how could I have done another way? I could have done like this. When I look at this, I see another line of action like this. So one of them is like straight line, another one is like more like a flowing line. Let's try that one. This still works, as you can see. Let me try another one. as you can see, there are a lot of approaches. Okay, so you can try this. You can try this, and you can decide that you can, with this bit practice, you will get much better. Okay, so let's get back to power of drawing. Yeah. I am marking the shoulders. And right now I am trying to find the proportion of the body. And I am following the following the flow lines. Without getting into too much detail. However, since I have some experience, I can still put some detail marks on the figure, like this part of the leg. And it won't hurt too much. However, if you are just starting, I recommend that you stay away from the anatomical details and just focus on the straight lines and flowing lines, and that's it. And also I am planning to make quick sketches, like these are going to be quick sketches, so I won't be taking half an hour for each piece. I am planning to take about 10 minutes, but I am not holding time, so it may vary and it may change from piece to piece. I am fixing my proportional mistakes. And like how I do it is like, I'm looking at the image and I'm comparing. For example, for the leg, I am looking at the distance between I am looking at this angle. Then there is the difference between this chest part and the top of the knee. Then I am looking at the bottom part, and I am just like calculating if the location is right. For example, I can see that when I'm looking at the picture, I can see that, like I said, when I'm comparing this part here to here, I can see that it is longer. However, what I will do is that as long as it doesn't break the image, I will keep it, because in quick sketches you will not have time to fix these small mistakes. So as long as it looks acceptable, you should leave it. However, if it's not looking acceptable, I mean, if it's like a 3-minute, then you don't have much choice but just ignore it. And the next time you should be more focused so that you don't make the same mistake. However, if you have like 10 minutes or maybe 7 minutes, 8 minutes, then it is okay that you fix these mistakes. However, don't get too much in detail, like I said, because the whole point of this figure sketching is not doing detailed sketches, but to find the flow of your drawing, like find the flowing drawings, finding the flowing lines. Okay. So I am adding some details according to my anatomy knowledge. And it might be helpful if you have time. It might be helpful, actually very helpful. If you can add some anatomical details. However, you should be moderate about it, because if you are studying anatomy, that's a different study. Like studying anatomy is a different type of study. So you should focus anatomy more on that kind of study where you study anatomy solely. However, even in figure sketching, it might be a good idea to give some, anatomy indications like this here or here. You can see, okay. Just keep that in mind. And the face is a kind of tricky part of the human body to draw. It's very hard actually. So I recommend doing a lot of portraits different from figure drawing. Like do not go into the comfort zone and just like leave the head like this, because the more you do, better you will get. If you do not keep drawing, then you won't get better. The only way to get better is to just keep drawing. So draw a lot of portraits like this one, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes portraits. Then after you get better, you will have more confidence. And always, whenever you are figure drawing, do not forget to focus on face. Like try to spend some time on the face. However, like I said, if it's 3 minutes, then you won't have, then only thing you can do, if it's like a 3 minutes or 2 minutes, then only thing you can do is like give it some information like this, and that's it. It may be just this much. However, still try your best, okay? This is still important, even in 3 minutes. Try your best to add some information. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it will be really important. And I may change the, some. I may make it like kinda to my taste. What I mean by that is like I may change some part of the proportions to according to how I like, but you will see. With some parts I'm looking at the face, looking at the figure. Some parts I am not looking at the figure. However, if you are just starting out, you should try to do exactly how it looks in the picture. But since I have some experience, and for me this is more important, like to have some, to learn, get some likeness according to my taste, then I am doing this kind of study. Like I am changing, like for the body, sometimes I may change or I may not change. However, the portrait, I always try to do according to my liking, and that helps me a lot when I'm doing stuff from imagination. It really helps me to create better looking characters when I'm doing from my imagination. And this is the type of study that I do. And I generally do not spend this much time on the portrait. However, since we are doing some more like this has already became like a class, then why not add some more details? Just to give you some idea, let me give you some tips, okay? So let's say you are doing figure drawing just like now, and you can't quite figure out how to draw, the important parts of the face. Like you are drawing, however, somehow uh, somehow it just doesn't look like on the picture. Okay, so what might be the reason? Let me give you some tips on portraits. So let's look at the body, let's look at the face. And do not forget that although we are not in the we are not in the real world, we still have to be mindful of some details that will help us find the lines that we need to put down. Okay, this is the head. When we look at the image, and this is the actually let me just get a copy of this. This, all right. I want to explain as much as I can. Just a second. I'm sorry. So let's make sure we are on the right part. So one important, I'm sorry, like I know I'm spending too much time, but I want to make sure that you are getting all the right information. So should I put it something you cannot unsee? Okay, like uh, I see as it like when I see from a lot of beginners when they are drawing portraits, uh, they have this tendency to do all the lines that they see. For example, let's say we are looking at the eyes, right? What they do is like they start with the right top, then at the bottom line, this is fine. And they go on to the second one. And up to this point, this is fine. However, they also do this. Okay. And up to this point, it may look fine. However, you will see why this is a dangerous habit. Okay, you should not be doing this. And let me show you why. Sometimes, even with the eyes, this is problem, and it will change from subject to subject. However, with the nose and the lips, it becomes very evident. Okay, then they do this nose. However, I am seeing all the, I can see all these shadows, right? So I should be drawing all the nose. I should be drawing all I see. And let's get to the lips. And I hope you are understanding that where this goes. Okay, so this is why a lot of beginners drawings looking this way. And let's give it from this angle. They start by doing the face and they draw all the lines that they can see. I mean, this is a common mistake. So all the beginner drawings look like this, and this is the reason. Okay, they try to draw everything they see. Whatever they say they see, they try to put it onto the paper. However, and you may think that you are not that beginner, you are not that new, and you know that this is important. It is important to draw not everything that you see. However, even some intermediate artists do this mistake then. Okay, what do we see? We have this line here. Okay, I'm not going to get into too much detail. Then we have this tendon here connecting to the collarbone, to the middle side of the chest. Okay, to the necktie. Then let's get the inside bit. Okay, what they do when they drawing the chin here is they try to draw all this chin like this. And this is another mistake. You see how the chin actually doesn't okay, there is a slight shadow here that you can see, right? There is this shadow, and because this is because of the chin structure, right? It is like this, and there is it goes to the neck. It is not like this. However, it is like this, right? And this part are the shadow. This is the shadow part. However, even though we are seeing this change of line, like this change of line here, we should not give it a complete drawing like this. Okay, instead, I mean, these will come in handy when you are trying to make something looking believable. Okay, and in some cases this might be what you are looking for. However, in most cases that you will want, especially for women, because for females, this part of the chin is much more softer. And the males has this part more obvious. However, with females, this part is much softer. So it actually connects here. You know, the chin is actually like this. Okay, like if we can even ignore, or we can almost ignore this middle part. So to make it look right, we should, you know, just give the indication and left it as it is. But give the details to the part that separates foreground from the background. For this part, you can make it as thick as you want. I mean, not obviously like this, but you can go thick because this part separates background from the midground. Then this part doesn't, even if you go with thick lines, it won't break the figure. Okay, and that is why when I was drawing like this part, I have went with the, instead of doing with the soft and you know, thin line, I have decided to go with the soft, because if I'm going to do a painting over it, it will be much easier to manage. This is still same. This is still same for the traditional. If I was doing traditional drawing, I still have to apply this logic. Okay, and you know, one other tip as well. This is for, you know, maybe for beginners to intermediate artists as well. The trick here is to only drawing to the darkest parts. And this was a very important lesson that I have learned. And, you know, maybe it is helpful to share with you. Like, if you want your drawing to look like really nice, just draw the parts that are really dark. For example, if I were to draw, and you know, you will see after I close the layer. Look, what are the darkest parts here? Okay. Then I will just draw this and this. Okay. Then here. And let's do here. Then what are the darkest parts here? Here and here. For this is right. And other than that, we can outlines of the dark parts, right? However, do not try to make shadows, okay? Just the form of the face, the facial features. Then we can do the outer line. And let me give some detail to the. Let me close the layer now. You see, like even with this much, then we still can understand the figure from far away. We can still read it, and this is actually how you should draw. Although you can add some like more details. Although you can add some more details. This is what you should just draw. You know, if you look at my drawing, you will see this same thing. I am only drawing, I am only focusing on the shadow parts. You see? I have added some extra steps, however, same principle. And if from now on, if you try to apply this principle, your drawings will look much better. I had a student, art student, that she was drawing like this, like I said. She was drawing like, uh, everything stuff. She was drawing like this. Then she got so much better just after learning this trick. Okay, or draw only the shadow parts. And the another thing is, let's say there is this object here. The closer it is to the obstruction of light, then the lines will be thicker, and the closer it is to the light, the lines will be thinner, like this. They say this is the light source. Okay, a lot of professional artists use this trick to give the sense of light. And let's look at from away. As you can see, it is believable. This is the trick. Okay, keep that in mind. A really quick line weight tip here. Let's get back to our drawing. I hope these tips were helpful. I was thinking like doing some couple more figure drawings, but since we have gone with a lot of details and to like tips, then it is kind of like we don't have time anymore. So yeah, I mean, for the face, I can add like a lot of details. However, like I said, this was supposed to be 10 minutes, but because I have talked a lot, it is now much more than 10 minutes, and I have to finish this one. I can add some details. However, I need to finish because we are out of time. Okay. Like kind of the head is kind of smaller. Then we can just, if we are in digital, adjust. And obviously it would be much better if we could have done in this first try. However, like this is, did I have any other sketch here? Oh no. So like obviously since this is my first sketch without warm up, I may have some wrong proportions, and that's okay. It will be same for you. And if you are really new to the figure drawing, your figures will look really bad in the beginning, and it was same for mine, so same for me as well. My figures look really bad. However, with time and practice, there is no way that you won't get better. Just keep that in mind. You will definitely get better. However, it will take some time. Okay. It will get better with time. Yeah, I think that's it for this one. Like I said, I have tried to give as much information as I could with just a single sketch. However, please keep that in mind. The figure drawing is actually pretty complex. It has a lot of elements like anatomy, and like free flow dot drawing, line weights, a structure, composition, and a lot of stuff going behind the back. However, for just explanatory introduction and general session. I hope it was helpful. And with the upcoming figures drawing sessions, I may add some, anatomy details. And okay. Hopefully this was helpful. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Goodbye.